Carrie Allen, from Omaha, Nebraska, was a devoted mother and caregiver. Carrie had an associate's degree from Iowa Western Community College and a bachelor's degree in psychology and human services from Buena Vista University. Carrie's calling in life was to serve individuals with special needs who were unable to care and advocate for themselves. Carrie was married to Brett Allen, and they had a son, Brennan Allen. Carrie's entire world revolved around her son. There was nothing more she enjoyed doing in life than spending time with Brennan. Carrie and her husband, Brett, later divorced. On November 19, 2022, she was out on a date. That same evening, one of her obsessive, jealous ex-boyfriends, 47-year-old Aldrich Scott, tracked her location on Snapchat and made the 3-hour drive from Topeka, Kansas to her home in Omaha, unannounced. He was hoping to resurrect the relationship Carrie had ended with him 2 weeks earlier. He circled a bar parking lot looking for her while she was on her date. He then drove to her neighborhood, parked a couple blocks away, walked to her house, and let himself in through the garage. He waited for her to return for more than an hour. Carrie's loved ones grew concerned when her son stopped receiving texts from his mother at around 11:30 p.m. While Carrie was believed to have been kidnapped, the authorities searched her home and her car, and they also headed to Topeka to search the home of Aldrich, who was a suspect at the time for kidnapping. But Aldrich had fled the country. Investigators reportedly found what appears to be bullet holes in the door and walls of Carrie's bedroom. 2 days after she disappeared, an unknown individual called 911 to report that Aldrich had ended Carrie's life. A warrant for his arrest was then issued. On December 6, with the help from the U.S. Marshal Service and the Metro Fugitive Task Force, Aldrich was apprehended in the Central American country of Belize. He was subsequently extradited to the United States. Thanks to a barbecue restaurant chef on the island, Kay Cocker, who made a call to the police regarding Aldrich working and living there under the name Nelson. Aldrich was officially charged with kidnapping and his bond was set at $10 million. Carrie was still nowhere to be found. Police also searched for her at a landfill, and they even used cadaver dogs to search during the investigation. The case took many twists and turns. Thankfully, detectives caught a big break 6 weeks later. GPS data from Aldrich's SUV put him near an abandoned farmhouse in Topeka for more than an hour. Carrie was then found in a shallow grave. She was found in 2 garbage bags. Aldrich was then charged with first-degree charges. An autopsy later confirmed that the cause of Carrie's demise was confirmed to have been a gunshot to the chest. With the upgraded charges, Aldrich was denied bond. Aldrich allegedly researched whether he could be arrested in Belize. He also searched his own name as well as Carrie's. During Aldrich's first court appearance, after his capture, prosecutors said that a handgun, crowbar, nitrile gloves and sledgehammer were allegedly found in his vehicle. Aldrich's attorney argued that his arrest was unlawful because the deportation was improper as it happened without a court hearing. During opening statements, in the trial that started in March 2024, the defense said that Carrie's demise was not a premeditated act. Aldrich testified that he went to Carrie's home to talk and to try to get back together with her, but she pulled a gun on him. He said they struggled over the gun and that's when the gun went off, shooting her in the chest. He claims he acted in self-defense and after the gun went off, he panicked and ran. The second day of testimony revealed the haunting exchange between Aldrich and his ex-girlfriend, Carrie, on Facebook Messenger the night of her demise. According to her friend, Aldrich was blowing up Carrie's phone while she was on the date. Aldrich messaged her and said, "First time I caught you in a lie." She had apparently told him she was with her friend that night. She writes back, "Okay, you can answer your phone." Carrie kept calling him, but he wouldn't answer. Investigators allege that's because he was trying to be quiet because he was hiding upstairs in her home during the conversation. He told her to go to bed, presumably where he's lying in wait since the evidence shows she was shot in her bedroom. He then wrote, "Are you going to be up front with me?" She then texts back, "Literally pick up your phone if you want a conversation." Aldrich then said, "I guess it's time for the truth." And Carrie responded, "Yeah, been waiting 10+ months for that." Aldrich then concluded by saying, "I have lost everything." The context here, according to her friends, was that he was more into her than she was into him. The week that Carrie lost her life would have been their 1-year anniversary, but she had broken off the relationship a couple weeks earlier. When it was time for Aldrich to address the court, he had nothing to say. Carrie's ex-husband, Brett, said, "It's disturbing." No emotion throughout the whole trial, even when he described what he said happened. No emotion. Douglas County Attorney Don Klein also noticed that the defendant showed absolutely no remorse whatsoever. Carrie's family and friends told the judge how this case had changed their lives forever. Brett said, "The whole thing is senseless. Just because you want something and can't have it, you do this, and it affects so many lives." According to Brett, the hardest part of this has been seeing the loss affect their teenage son. Carrie was the boy's guiding light and protector and nurtured his dreams. Her absence has been an indescribable void. He also said, "People ask all the time if we're okay. We're never going to be okay. There's always something that triggers a memory or event, and we think, man, she would have loved to be here for this." So, what is believed to have really happened on the night that Carrie had disappeared was that Aldrich waited for Carrie to come home, and he shot her in the chest, ending her life. He hastily tried to fill the bullet holes in the wall. He then stuffed her body in his car and drove to Topeka, where he dumped her body in a shallow grave in a garbage bag. After that, he then fled the country. A jury convicted Aldrich on all counts: first-degree charges, use of a weapon, and tampering with evidence in the demise of Carrie Allen. Aldrich ended Carrie's life because he could not control her or have her all to himself, so he decided no one can have her, and for all of that, Aldrich will never see freedom again. He was sentenced to life in prison on May 30, 2024 on the first-degree charges and an additional 45 to 60 years for the other two charges.